Shalom, call halal Yahweh by Shem Avashai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered, hopefully elect, that are scattered to the four corners of the earth, that be among the heathen nations, that be like unto the speckled bird, and to the Aquaf that are listening and learning. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. Not quite sure the title of this video yet, but one thing that I tell you that, you know, the mirth is over. The party is over. And one thing that Jake and E loves to do is enjoy themselves and riot. You know, and riot is, hell, as a matter of fact, I heard an announcement on the radio the other day for Riot Fest coming up. You know, they're already promoting Riot Fest, which happens in Chicago, you know, every year. Just like Lollapalooza, which I call Lollapaloozers. All right, that's two big sinful, riotous fests, but people just want to party and bullshit. And even though those are majority Edomite and heathenist things, Jake is all in the middle of that. As a matter of fact, Jake is always there adding a little bit of salt, you know, to that wicked mixture. All right, but as you can see, the man has got this gold hidden in the ceiling. He's popping in and out of the ceiling, you know, of this attic, you know, hiding gold. Look like gold or silver bars. That's the time that we're in. The money's being devalued, the markets are crashing, and gold and silver are going up ridiculously. All right, because the point of the matter is, gold and silver is the true currency according to the scriptures, according to who people ignorantly call God, even according to this wicked Constitution here in America. The Constitution clearly states that you know, our currency was never to be anything but gold and silver. But what do you have? You have paper. And the people that distribute the paper confiscated all the gold and silver. Made it illegal, made it not currency, but yet they are held on to it. Why? Because just as simple, that's an unrighteous decree. As a matter of fact, let's get that. How are you going to take something from me, give me something that has no value in its place, and keep that what I had, and say, yet it has no value, but then when I go and try and buy it gives you the fake currency that you've given me, I have to use so much of it just to get so little of what I had before. This is, matter of fact, at the top of the page in this Bible, it says, woe to the abusers of justice. You know, I'm going to start using, let me underline that. Woe to the abusers of justice. This is Isaiah 10:1, and it says, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And they write grievousness and oppress you with their grievous laws. All right, and then punish you when you don't or can't follow them. Because sometimes they put laws in place that you physically or financially just cannot follow, and then you're penalized for such. But without any further ado, let's let the guy from the Silver Report give you a quick breakdown of what's going on.
Welcome to the Silver Report Uncut. So we see the Dow Jones sold off more than 1,000 points yesterday as the world finally seems to be waking up to just how serious this problem has become. Now, it was the worst day in over 2 years for the blue chip index. We see investors are increasingly turning their sights to the global economic impact due to several major economies shutting down. Now, of course, the story radically changed throughout the weekend, and we also saw a lot.
Note he said several major economies, and 7 is a number of completion. As we said before, Yahweh is the master chess player, man, and he's tearing down Eve's world brick by brick. And now it seems he's tearing it down city by city. Everything has sped up.
A safe haven buying of gold. What is significant is that gold hit a 7-year high. There is also some funny business going on in the gold markets, which we'll get to in a minute. But so far, we've seen the travel industry has been entirely stalled. Cruise operators, they're not even sure how they're going to operate moving into the future. Factories have been shut down in several countries, and it appears as if we're going to be seeing some more announcements of shut down factories coming up out of other countries.
And this is majorly hurting the travel industry. As a matter of fact, my daughter is a flight attendant. And this is hurting their business. We really haven't talked about it much. But this is really hurting their business big time. The lack of travel. And you people don't really have any idea how big travel to China is for both for business and for tourism. And that there's a Chinese population in almost every major city around the world. And guess what? Those people have gone back and forth to their homeland. That's why they're being treated. Moab is becoming the new niggas. Ammon and Moab. They're being mistreated, and there's all sorts of upticks in racial discrimination and racially motivated acts of violence and things of that nature against them. It's being reported online more and more every day as a result of it. And pretty soon, you're going to have the same travel bans that are in place over there here in America. This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 24. And it reads, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein, and the springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run." And the reason I read that, because I'm going to profile another video after this one with Survival Lily, talking about preparing for the eventual lockdown. The lockdown and the travel ban in the States is coming. It's coming.
Significantly, we see Milan, which happens to be the economic powerhouse of all of Italy, is effectively under lockdown. Another thing that has been hit would be the luxury goods retailers, casino operators, tech companies. Now, of course, it's becoming clear. It's going to require stricter methods. They're going to be implying stricter methods to be able to control this. And this is essentially going to shut down the supply chains all over the world. It's interesting because I heard a gentleman, he was discussing how that in China, it's not going to be a very serious problem. And if they just follow the party, that it should be eradicated and completely gone from China. But he said, when it happens outside of China, the only thing they can do is pray to God. So what do they mean by that? The steps that China took in order to control this issue were immense. It seemed as if they understood the severity of what was moving. They also were conducting themselves as someone who understood what it would mean if this were to get out into the rest of the world. So they took extreme measures to be able to stop the spread of this. However, a lot of the countries in the zone are out there signaling that they're not going to be shutting down borders. They have no desire to shut down travel between these areas. And that's what I'm talking about. I think that's exactly what he meant, is the fact that they're concerned about how people in Italy would feel. They don't want them to feel isolated. They don't want them to feel as if, they're singled out. Honestly, this will prove a catastrophic mistake. It seems like a lot of countries, their economy is already in such a state.
And what he mean by it's going to prove a catastrophic, it's going to bring on much death. That's going to be the catastrophic mistake, because they're so worried about that image. It's like if you've ever seen the movie with the original what was the movie with all the dinosaurs? Jurassic Park. The guy was more worried about his image and making money and the image of the park which he had created, that the safety protocols and threats were mildly or not taken into great consideration because of arrogance and greed, man. It's going to cause a lot of death. All right, by not doing that. And the proof of that is that just look what just happened to Italy. Italy didn't take the extreme cautions to lock itself down, and now look at them. Why? Because in the interest of money, and that's how they got here to America. Because quite frankly, in the Cordon sanitaire, that's the name of this video. In the Cordon sanitaire, man, if you watch that Netflix series, Containment, when they enacted that Cordon sanitaire, man, That was serious business, because if you got caught on the wrong side of those walls when they put those walls up and put those electrified fences up, if you got caught on the wrong side, you were just in there. You had to make do, you know, and there was lawlessness and chaos inside the containment area. Because why? Because a few police officers got caught in there, were outmanned and outgunned, and most of them took off their badges and guns so that they wouldn't be targets. So a lot of them even joined on to the gangs and the groups that formed that were in there. And that's the reality of things, man. All right? When everything goes crazy here in America, man, it's not going to be enough law enforcement to deal with these people. That's already been admitted. That's why they want to get gun control and try to take all the legal guns away. Because it's not the illegal guns you're going to have to worry about. It's the legal ones. Especially when E starts getting together in groups. If you haven't heard about what's going on in New Jersey with this white supremacy being on the uprise, and as a matter of fact, I'm trying to remember the report. If it was a Huffington Post or Washington, whichever, but the report went on as far as to say that white supremacy in New Jersey is a bigger threat than ISIS and Al Qaeda. And of course, you know, if you've really been watching, you know there's no such thing as white. That's a made-up title that they labeled upon themselves for social engineering. They're really red. They're the red people of the Bible, the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And the first came out red all over. But real quick, this is Ecclesiastes 12, 3 and 4. And it reads, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and the look out the windows that be darkened," meaning they looking out the windows, they see no future. Because this is hurting business and everything that's connected to it. And there's already very few little jobs. This, you got to remember, this coronavirus happened in the middle of what they were calling a retail apocalypse. The retail apocalypse was already wreaking havoc. So, I mean, everything was dying anyway. And now, why? Because the dollar is devaluing, and America's on its way out. And now, you know, this virus is a perfect excuse to hide or disguise the crash of the dollar. Because they could blame it on the virus and just go straight digital and bring in the microchip, which is more than likely exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. So this thing is closer than you could imagine, man. And some of you people still in the mindset of partying and bullshitting. This is Ecclesiastes 7:4. "The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth." So here's the heart. Let's go to this video with Survival Lily here at the top with her little dog.
Hey everybody, stop clicking around. I am in the woods with some water going in the background near my house. And
Amy, get down. Get down. Come here. Come here. Come here.
And the name of this video is "Preparing for an Eventual Lockdown. Get Ready."
Amy.
All right? There's the title. Preparing for an eventual lockdown. Get ready.
So today I want to make a video about preparing for an eventual lockdown, and this is not a joke video, so yeah, it's serious. So I think you all know what this is about, so I don't have to name it, because if I name this video would get instantly demonetized. So yeah, I want to get prepared, stock up my gear, and also I want to get some food. So I've written down a list what I need. So today I decided that I want to do a prepping buy for my house.
Now, why is she prepping for her house and for her shelters? Because she's got different little shelters out in the woods. And, you know, and this chick, you know, I'm assuming that she learned from her father, or maybe whoever used to be banging her, I don't know. But someone taught her bushcraft. So she really knows how to go out and build shelters, even in the worst conditions. And live off the land and survive in cold or wet weather. She's good at that. I've watched a lot of her videos, man. And this is the first time she's ever done a video where she's actually indoors. So she's at home sitting in front of a computer telling you, hey, that this lockdown is coming. And so she's constantly sharing on her channel on how to make fires and this whole sort of thing, and what roots you could eat and what mushrooms and what wildlife to hunt and all that sort of thing. So this is serious business, man. And the main people that are not taking it serious is Jake and these idiots here in America, man. All right, this is let's go to Isaiah. (24:8), and it reads, "The mirth of tabrets cease, the noise of them rejoiceth endeth, the joy of the heart ceases." You know? And it's funny, you know, I'm from that era, you know, that househead era here in Chicago, man. All right? You know, that was my era. You know, that was when I was in my youth, in my prime. All right? And you still got all these old househeads that walk around and they make documentaries about some of these places, man. You know, the warehouse and the power plant. You know, the candy stores, Medusas, the playground. You know, the La Mirage. What was another one? The power plant. All those spots where, you know, all the houses, the real househeads went. Not all that other music that they call house, because real house is actually decent, man. It's all that after stuff, you know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But nevertheless, guess what? Those places are gone. They're the past. They're a bunch of Edomite condos, and you know, those same areas have been gentrified and turned into mini heavens for survival lilies people. The woman you see on the screen. All right? Because the party is over, man. This is Isaiah 28:11. He stretched out his hand over sea. He shook the kingdoms. Yahweh have given a commandment against the merchant city to destroy the strongholds thereof, man. So these places are finished. Like I said, the coronavirus hit in the middle of a retail apocalypse. So much that no one's even talking about the fact that you have over 19,000 stores and businesses shut down that employ, you know, maybe 1 million plus people here in America. All right? There's roughly 24 million people in America. About 110 million of those people are unemployed. And only Yahweh knows how many of them are homeless. You got over a third of the country that's homeless or damn near homeless, on the verge of being homeless. That is not good. That is not good at all. In a place where policy is pushed, where the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, man. All right?
Get all of the supplies that I need for the next 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so I have to buy this stuff anyway. And why not do it now before the panic spreads? So
see, it's before the panic spreads. That's what she said. But you know, as far as I know, you know, Survival Lily is single, or at least, or she's married. She's not married traditionally under this world's standard. Right, but because I've never seen her speak about, or you know, I don't watch her videos that much, but I watch them every now and then. But I've never heard her talk about her husband or her boyfriend. You know, for all I know, she might even have a girlfriend. But if that be the case, we go back to 2nd Ezra 6:24. All they're gonna do is run up in her spot, have their way with her, and eat all her damn food. All right. And then after they eat all their food and they've had they fill of her food and her, they might just put her to death. That's what she's facing. That is what is about to happen in America. All right? As this sickness spreads and brings on the chaos that it's bringing on. Because there's a lot of this thing is hurting other businesses in other parts of life. You know, just like it's come out that 80% of the medicines that all these people are, America is probably one of the most heavy medicated societies in all of the world, man. 80% of the medicine comes from China. It's not coming. So you people who are all out of shape and sick and dependent on drugs and dependent on your drugs, you're not going to be getting them, man. You're not going to get your heart medicine, your diabetes medicine, your opioids, man. People are going to be losing it. Your psychosis drugs. So you're going to be talking about a melting pot of complete madness. Is well on its way. The fire's turned up and the water's already starting to boil, man.
What I'm talking about is really this infection, which I can't name, and it's actually pretty close to Austria now, so they have locked down a couple of small towns in Italy, which is just a few 100 kilometers away in this direction, and I'm not scared or super concerned, but I just want to get prepared for the situation. So if this spreads, and we all know that it's highly infectious, then I don't want to leave the house anymore. So I just want to have everything at home, which I need, you know, all of the food and the hygiene supplies, and also other stuff, like I have to stock up on dog food and such, and food for us, medication, you know. Right now I'm in the process of recharging all of my batteries. I know that this has nothing to do with a blackout or something, but I just want to get prepared. And also what I want to do is I want to take a look through the house and see, you know, what I have to repair or what has to be repaired in the next few weeks.
So, hey, look, she's taking this very serious, as she should. And most people should, but they're going on. All they're worrying about is that paycheck, March Madness, and taxes. The tax money. Right? Which you may or may not even get. Or if you get it, it might be contaminated with the damn, that virus that she says she can't speak of because he's trying not to get demonetized. All right? But she knows that she can see the fact that she may be stuck in a house she doesn't want to leave. And you already got places where they're telling you to self-quarantine, which that's never gonna work. Undisciplined, spoiled Americans with their sense of entitlement, they're not gonna self-quarantine. Are you kidding me? All right. 2 Ezra 15:15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their Salakia, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy the houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Call halal Yahweh B'Shem Abishai B'Shem Rakak Wadash Wa Abba Baba. Shalom.